We back live. Wait till some people get up in the building. HT Logistics, what's up, man? Shotgun Sandwich ENT, what's up? Kiwi Box, what's up? Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal, man? Just a little quick live stream episode 2, I guess we could say, of this live stream stuff I'm doing, man. Fight recommendation for the day. Right now I'm watching Buster Douglas, Tony Tucker. Man, it doesn't seem like it was 30 years ago, man. This fight right here was also on the undercard of, was it Tyson and Pinky Thomas? Yeah, he fought Pinky Thomas that night. I want to say Greg Page was on the undercard too against James Broad. I forget though, man, but what's up, everybody joining, man? What's the deal? Body Snatcher Vince. Oh, what's up, Vince? Cones. Vince be out there killing in the Drew League, man. But today, man, I just want to do a really quick hangout, man. Just want to go over some low-key type of heavyweight stuff. And I'll be looking at the comments and I'll try to answer some of the questions here, man. What's up, BC? Jared Green, what's up? Let's talk about some prospects, man. Martin Bakole, he is the brother of Alunga Macabo. Some of you guys seen him fight Tony Bellew. He's a solid cruiserweight. I believe he's 10-0 now, and he just got a first-round victory against Ali Bakhuz. I just watched that fight on YouTube, got him out of there, landed a good left hook to the body. Didn't look like Ali Bakhuz wanted anything to do with that fight, man. He came out throwing punches. He came out, you know, because he was an undefeated prospect himself, guy from Belgium. He came out throwing some punches, moving around a little bit. And Bakole in this fight, compared to his fight against Akinlande, he kind of just put up the high guard in this one, just took what Bakhuz had, walked him down with the jab, and started raining down punches. In the Akinlande fight, he was being a little bit more elusive up top and using his jab and trying to move out the way. This time looked like he was trying to just walk the guy down and get him out of there. But he improves to, I believe he's 10-0. And I seen an interview on IFL TV. Where him and his team was talking about Dillian White and fighting guys like that. Haplotype, what's up? Aziz, what's up, man? Just talking about some heavyweight prospect stuff really quick, man. Not gonna make this too long. So yeah, Bakole looked good. I know, you know, he's out of the Congo. He's 10-0. He's a young guy too, only 24 years old, man. I've been hearing he's been getting a lot of sparring with Anthony Joshua. From what I hear, he's been giving him good work. You know, he isn't somebody that's getting ran out of the camp. You know what I mean? So I'm not hearing stories like that. Efe Ajagba, he was on the he was an Olympian for Nigeria, and he's undefeated 3-0 with 3 KOs. He's another young guy, 23 years old, out there working in H-Town with Ronnie Shields. So he moved his career over here to the States, and he just picked up a victory against Rodney Hernandez. I didn't get to see that fight. That fight's not on YouTube, but this was on the undercard of the Wilder and what's my man's name? Stavern, the rematch. But I did see his fight a few weeks before that against Luke Lyons, and just like Bakole, he pulled out the left hook to the body. That's a forgotten art at heavyweight with these big guys, man. You know, everybody wants to probe with the jab and come down the pipe with the right hand, vice versa if you're southpaw. Going to the body is like a lost art. You know, you don't have to be a Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. committed body puncher, Ricky Hatton, but at least some shots here and there to the body, man, to kind of mix it up. Some of you may say, Mr. Boxing, Ali is one of your favorite fighters of all time, and he wasn't a big body puncher. Damn it, that's Ali. You know what I mean? So I'm biased towards Ali, but I do think some good body work will be, it's just a lost art, man. And I think some of these guys won't even be expecting body punches because they're so used to fighting other guys, they don't go to the body. That's why I appreciate when Dillian White is going to the body or Jarrell Miller likes to go to the body. I appreciate guys that, you know, give that body work. But Ajagba, he actually knocked down Luke Lyons. I know it's a guy that you know, a journeyman type of guy, but just the fact that he was working the left hook to the body, I was very impressed by that. I want to see what Ronnie Shields does with Ajagba, man. Another fight I want to talk about that I watched was Toro Fujimoto. Now, he's the guy that was Joseph Parker and his team was talking about trying to fight. I know he has a high ranking by the WBO. Last I checked, it was number 7. He beat Randall Raymond. It was actually an entertaining fight, dare I say. Raymond looked like a damn MMA fighter. If you're going to watch that fight, yo, this dude got his hands out. You know how, like, if you're working out and if you throw like a right kick, you're standing in an orthodox stance. He kind of had that stance, like he was getting ready to throw a right kick, like a roundhouse or some shit, man. And Toro Fujimoto was just throwing right hands. Raymond could not get out the way of the right hand. He fought with some heart, but he kept getting hit with good right hands, and that punch that knocked him out, that dude was out of there, man. He tried to get up. He was all over the place. Fujimoto, in my opinion, was landing some good uppercuts. He comes to fight. He has to get at close range and land his punches, but him versus Joseph Parker is a complete mismatch. Complete mismatch. If Manu, and I don't like using the triangle theory, but if Manu can knock him out, I'm sure Joseph Parker can knock him out. I think Parker's jab alone would just give Toro Fujimoto's problems, man. But yes, Kiwi Box, the Fujimoto fight is on YouTube. Type in Fujimoto versus Raymond, and that fight will pop up. Pretty, you know, there was some action in the fight. Raymond fought in a very weird damn style, I'll say that much. He didn't have his hands down. He had the motherfuckers out. He looked like a mummy almost. He was trying to give Fujimoto these different looks, man. He was getting caught with right hands. Vince Camper says, I want to see Miller versus Huey Fury. See how Big Baby deal with someone who has constant frenetic movement, and how will Fury do with the constant pressure. Yeah, that's a good style clash, man. Will Fury be able to fight Miller off of him and, you know, stand and trade a little bit? Not necessarily go slugfest with the guy, but just stand and trade. Hey, man, as I'm doing this video, I can hear, man, Larry Merchant used to get on my nerves with his fight commentary. For those of you just joining, my fight recommendation for today is Buster Douglas versus Tony Tucker. I'm watching that as I'm doing this video. Now, this is 3 years before Douglas fought Tyson. It's 87. I can't believe it was fucking 30 years ago, man. Don't seem like that long ago, but James, man, Douglas had a snapping damn jab, man. Like the first few rounds, it was just so fast and sharp and crisp. Like, damn. You know what I'm saying? But Larry Merchant, oh, both guys haven't went all out yet. It's like, man, shut up. Everybody just fucking go all out all the time, man. People want to set things up with jabs, man. Like Larry Merchant thought everybody's going to fight like Mike Tyson or some shit, or Joe Frazier. Well, he was one of the guys when they put that group together that got Joe Frazier to turn pro. He was one of those guys, a part of that group. But just Larry Merchant, some of his commentary just make me scratch my head, man. Like everybody's going to be fucking Gotti Ward up in there. Larry Merchant, the fuck out of here, man. But anyways, yeah, man, I'm multitasking, Haplo. Trying to get my fix in, man. Like I say, when I'm, you know, to pass my time, man, I love to go back and watch these old fights, man. That's why I'm so thankful for YouTube, man. Especially over the last, should I probably say about 7 years, where there's more fights that was able to be uploaded. Because you guys have been around for YouTube since like 07, 06. They didn't have all the damn fights uploaded. There were some fights on there, but now as time's passed, man, there's more and more fights. And I have a lot of these fights on VHS, and a lot of them I don't have. Yeah, man. Big Baby's pressure. I like his pressure too. You know, a lot of people say, like I see one guy here, Hassan Sayed, said Miller was slow too. Maybe he should cut weight. I mean, slow compared to what? They're all heavyweights. It's not like we're saying, oh, he's slow compared to Pernell Whitaker. I mean, they're all big-ass heavyweights. Like, who's fast in there? Even Tyson Fury, as much as he can move and get out the way, he still looks big and fucking awkward. Deontay Wilder, very athletic. Seemed like he's a natural basketball player. Or he could be a wide receiver or some shit. But even he looks kind of awkward when he's in there. They all look big and awkward. Slow to me is Marius Wack, Robert Helenius. That's slow. Miller, he's coming forward trying to take shots and move out the way at the same time. You know what I mean? So I haven't seen nobody really just, you know, that fast and quick at doing it coming forward since shit, probably Mike Tyson. You know, all these guys kind of plod a little bit, you know, when they're coming forward, man. Just my opinion. Haplotype says Tyson looks like he's 50 years old. D-style, people are used to watching welterweights, bro. Yeah, man. It's like every time I hear somebody, oh, he's slow. He's this. I'm like, dude, he's six. I mean, most of the guys you guys are talking about are 6'7", 260 pounds. You know what I mean? 6'4", 300 pounds. Like me. I do, and I'm no professional boxer, but I'm just saying when I do my stylistic breakdowns on my heavy bag, for you guys that ain't watched those videos, go to my playlist and look at, what did I call it? Think just style breakdowns. You'll see my big ass head on there standing in front of my bag. You go to my playlist. But even me, I see guys in the comment section, you look slow. It's like, well, shit, I'm 6'5", 240. Like, how fast I'm supposed to look? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, keys to victory. How the hell I'm forgetting my own stuff? That's what it's called, y'all. Keys to victory. Truth hurts. What's up, bro? Shotgun Sandwich ENT says, still have VHS fights all the way back to the 80s. Yes, sir. Old dusty ass VHS tapes too, man. I wonder if them damn things still work. But I still got them though. I don't know why I keep them, but I still got them damn things. And it was dope back in the day too, man. I forgot the name of the company. It's actually on one of the tapes. It was this company out of Cali, man. My dad used to order the tapes from, where they will put 3 fights of your choosing on a tape for you, then mail it out to you. So, and this was back in the early 90s. A lot of these tapes we was recording fresh live, you know, live TV, right, when they were popping up. But sometimes you miss some of these fights. And sometimes these fights were regional, so you wouldn't get some of the fights. But yeah, man, forgot the name of that company. But it's on, I think it's called like Boxing International. I'm not even sure they're still around. Probably not, being that there's YouTube now and all this other shit. But you get 3 fights on the tape, man. That was pretty dope back in the day. My favorite tape to watch was the one where I had Holmes, Cooney, Ali, Frazier 1, and Ali, Foreman. That's the one I played out the most. Somebody says, I know you fuck with heavyweights more, but what do you think about Anthony Yard as a light heavyweight? I like his style, man. I like his approach to the game. When I watch him train, he kind of reminds me of they're trying to duplicate some of what Mayweather is doing, but shit. If there's anybody you want to kind of duplicate from, I wouldn't, you know, I can't hate on the fighter from taking from Floyd Mayweather as far as his pad work and stuff. But from what I see in the ring, man, he seems a lot further along than somebody that is just bursting onto the scene. Seems very patient in there. Want to see him against higher caliber of opponents, but from what I've seen, man, I like Yard. Truth Hurts says, what's your thoughts on Parker's team saying he wouldn't fight for anything less than 40% against AJ? I think it's them just trying to, you know, negotiate in the media. Like I was telling somebody earlier, man, you don't let nobody tell you what you're worth, even if they're right. When you're doing business, like I own my own business, and when I'm going back and forth with customers, sometimes I might throw out something high. Not something high to where I'm trying to jerk them, but just something high that's I think I'm worth plus a little bit more because I know what type of job that we'll do. You know what I mean? And they may come really low. So we try to come in the middle somewhere. But I'm not about to go in there and say, okay, how much do you want it for? And that's not happening. So I wouldn't expect these guys to do that shit either. Now, some people may argue, hey, man, his 20%, because I think from what I heard from Higgins, he was saying that Hearn and those guys was offering them 20%. They're not going for it. I guess you can look at it like, well, shit, if you do get 20%, how much is that 20% going to be worth to you financially? Is it going to be 3 times as much you've ever made? Is it going to be, you know, how much is that going to be? So you also got to look into those things too. So I want to, I wouldn't say this should be completely stubborn about the 20%. I would say break it as a team, not out in the public, letting us all know in the media, but just as a team, sit down and say, hey, man, how much is this 20% going to bring us? You know what I mean? But for them to go high and try to meet somewhere in the middle, that's just shit, negotiating 101. Just like when you go to the car dealership, you're not going to say, sell me anything, you know what I mean? And I'll pay whatever. Nah, you're going to go low, he going to go high, and y'all meet in the middle. Shady Slim says, when Floyd was the A side, guys took what he offered. Yeah, they did for the most part. But AJ isn't Floyd Mayweather, you know what I mean? He is the A side, but yeah, guys did because guys wanted to get in there with Floyd and try to beat him, and try to get that stardom. And Floyd was getting like 30 million. Some dudes were getting like, 1 or 2 million to fight him. 3 million, 4 million. You know what I mean? But Charlie Brown Boxing, what's up, man? Phil Harv, what's up? Truth Hurt says, true, bro. But if they play hardball for too long, it's not like AJ doesn't have other options. I hope, like you say, it's just pure negotiation tactics because if they get too greedy, the fight won't happen. It probably won't happen, but I hope money doesn't get in the way of it, man. Although that wouldn't be anything new, you know what I mean? But I think if AJ really wants to solidify his legacy and he wants to be mentioned amongst the all-time greats, as he said, Lennox and the Klitschko brothers, Holyfield, Tyson, let's go on and on. Can name all the fighters, Holmes, Ali, Joe Louis, all those guys. He has to try to make it work. You can't just say, well, hey, I tried to give them the money and the fight didn't work. That's not going to help your legacy at all. Now, there are some fights in every era that guys didn't get to fight a certain guy, but for the most part, they fought all the important guys. And AJ has to consider that. You know what I mean? This is why, again, man, some people call me, I look too much into the old school and the traditionalist, but this is why I like guys like Lennox. There was no mentions of marinating and letting fights build, and it just was none of that, man. Now, he wanted Riddick Bowe. That didn't happen, but for the most part, he fought everybody else. He went looking for challenges. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I liked about them guys. Ali the same way, man. I really wasn't much of that shit going on. Not that I can remember. Boxing Killers TV, he says, okay, who's fighting Webb? Is it Gorman? I thought they were fighting, and Gorman went on and fought somebody else. He just picked up a victory. Then I believe I was on Hatman Strikes Back. Shouts out to him. But I think I was on one of his vids. And I think there was a rumor of Webb fighting Dubois. Somebody clarified for me, man. That's what I thought. Lewis beat him in Seoul in 88. Yeah, Lewis beat Riddick Bowe in the Olympics. Yep. What's crazy is, what's the dude, man, that Bowe ended up beating in the pros? Gonzalez. He beat both of them in the amateurs, I believe, in one of those. I believe was it the Pan Am Games? Make sure I got to all the prospects. For those of you just joining, man, this video was more just talking about some prospects, man, that had some victories over the last week or so. Martin Bakole out of the Congo improved to 10-0. He beat another undefeated prospect, Ali Bakhuz. Efe Ajagba, the Nigerian Olympian who's out here in H-Town working with Ronnie Shields. He improved to 3-0, 3 knockouts. Definitely looks the part. I like for him to be more of a speedy heavyweight and not try to fight in the jab, right hand type of style. I think his best bet to be like more of a speedy type of guy where he's in and out with combinations, flicking his jab. Hasim Rahman Jr. also picked up a victory. He improved to 3-0. He beat James Jones. Sometimes with these quick first round knockouts, man, not really learning much is good that the guy's getting in there and getting the guy out of there. but I like to see him get some rounds under him. That's why Jagba, his last fight against Rodney Hernandez, he got the stoppage, but it was in the 4th round. That fight wasn't televised. It was on the Wilder-Stavern undercard. I haven't seen anything on that fight. I've seen his first 2 fights, though. They were quick knockout victories. Haters Have an Opinion says, I wish Brian Jennings was the WBO champion instead of Parker. Why is that? Aziz says, Rahman Jr. opponent not running this. Oh, man. Did y'all hear about that? That shit was crazy, yo. For those of you that don't know, Hasim Rahman Jr. had a fight a few weeks ago, and the dude he was set to fight, literally, as Hasim Rahman went to the ring, the dude didn't come out the dressing room. So some people went back there to talk to him. Some of the officials tried to get him out there, and it got to the point where the ring announcer said, I forgot the gentleman's name, man, but the ring announcer said, whatever his name is, has left the building. That's crazy. That's crazy as hell. Some people were saying it must have been some money. Yeah, that's some last minute negotiations at its finest. I know that the great Sugar Ray Robinson was good at shit like that. Do last minute deals, like literally, you know what I mean, day of the fight type shit. But that was crazy though for that dude to do that. Hassan Sayed says, looking ahead, when all is said and done, who is the one heavy that's going to unify? I feel like it's AJ. For me, man, and I've been saying this and I was actually saying this before Joshua won his title against Charles Martin, believe it or not, to some of you. I know you probably never heard me say it, but I've been saying this for a while, man. It's going to be Joshua and Wilder when the smoke clears. And I think it's 50-50. I think it's 50-50, man. And this was before Joshua had a strap. It's just something I could see. Then to really be honest with you guys, on my first channel, I should make some of those videos back public, man, so you guys can see for some of you that's just now listening to me, you can see what I was talking about years ago. I actually made a video about Joshua Klitschko years ago, and I was like, man, I don't think Joshua's ready quite yet, but in a few years he will be. Like, that's crazy, man. And I'm probably not the only person that was thinking that, so I'm not trying to act like a prophet, man, but I was one of few that was thinking about that fight right there, Joshua versus Klitschko. And I said in a few years' time, he will be ready. And when the fight was made, I picked Joshua by knockout. Dave Maggart says, big fan, been listening for about a year from New Zealand. Oh, I appreciate that, man. Rayon Khan says, if Haye knocks Bellew out and can keep the injuries off, then his style will, in my opinion. I think some of you guys are going back and forth with each other. Arjan Ganathi, he says, finally, man, got to see you doing your thing again, Mr. Boxing. Yeah, man, appreciate that, bro. I know I'm kind of butchering some of y'all's names, man. Somebody says Efe Ajagba got mad power. Yeah, he had a good left hook to the body on that. What's that dude's name that I seen him? Luke Lyons. Yeah, that dude didn't want no more of that. He didn't want no more of them body shots. Vince Camper says, heavyweight, you must want to see outside of Wilder AJ. The fight I want to see outside of that is it's 2 fights now, man. Povetkin and Ortiz, and I know people are gonna they think I'm trying to joke about it, but I'm not. I actually did a video, Vince, a few months ago probably, where one of the commenters asked me what are 5 fights at heavyweight I want to see besides AJ Wilder, and Ortiz and Povetkin was one of them. I think that'd be a good inside fight. Both guys like to work uppercuts, hooks. They like to time you and walk you into shots. I think that'd be a good inside close range type of fight. And the other fight is Jarrell Miller versus Dillian White. I also like to see Brazil versus Ruiz Jr. style clash. I think that's a both guys that come forward. They want to let leather go. Ruiz being the shorter guy, so how will he be able to get into Brazil's chest? Will he be able to break him down? Brazil is very hittable, but he's durable at the same time. Would he be able to lift Ruiz up off his feet with uppercuts and hooks? How would that play out? I think that's another interesting fight. Dave Magar says, "Did you see Boxing Gossip Top 30? If so, what do you think?" I haven't got a chance to watch his top 30 yet, man. I know he does it pretty often. He'll come out with his list. But Boxing Gossip, he pretty much knows his stuff, man. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm pretty sure whatever top 30 he has will be respectable. You know what I mean? I probably wouldn't agree with every damn slot that he has, how he has them, but I think it'd be respectable, though. Low play. What's up, low place? He says, I don't see how you can watch these big ass sloppy heavyweights today. Do you really think it's the best division in boxing? See, low place, with me, man, I grew up on this division, bro. So to me, big, sloppy, tall, skinny, too much muscles, whatever it is, bro, I'm gonna watch. It's just a division. It's kind of like ingrained. You know what I mean? I grew up. If you just joined, man, right now, I was telling everybody to go back and watch Tucker and Douglas. That's the fight I'm watching right now. Also, Mike Tyson and Pinky Thomas was on the undercard. But back to this though, bro. It's just I was watching it. See right now, people saying big, fat, and sloppy. The Klitschko era, people were saying, "Oh, these guys are Euro bums. I can't pronounce their names." And I was still watching. I'm like, well, shit. I'm going to learn how to pronounce their names because I want to watch this shit. You know what I mean? When Nikolai Valuev was walking around and they were saying he's the guy's going to beat the Klitschko's, I was watching it. When John Ruiz was putting people to sleep, I was still watching it. You know what I mean? So I've just been a avid watcher of the division for 30 going on 30 years. Even when I was a kid, some people don't want to count that. I count that, man. I remember them times with my father and my uncles and having fight parties and they talking shit. I count all that, even when I was a kid. Yep. Obviously, I wasn't following the, you know what I mean, the sport like I do now, but I count that, man. So the heavyweight, to me, put it like this, bro. There might not be a heavyweight out there that's as technically sound as Rigo and Lomo and Terrence Crawford. Okay, fair enough. But to me, if the heavyweight champion walks through the door and the I don't know, super welterweight champion walks through the door, who are they gonna call a champ? The heavyweight, right? I mean, technically they're both champions, but the heavyweight is the guy that's known as the baddest man on the planet. Whether that's true or false, whether whatever, if you don't believe it or not, that's the champ. If somebody coming to start shit, we're gonna get the heavyweight champ to put an end to it. We're not gonna run and get the lightweight champ. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me. So whether they're fat, sloppy, or whatever, that's just me. But I'm a fan of the smaller weight class now. Don't get me wrong now, man. I grew up on Leonard and Michael Nunn and James Toney and all them type of dudes. So don't get me wrong. Tommy Hearns is one of my favorite non-heavyweights. Probably my two non-heavyweight fighters. Well, technically Tony fought at heavyweight, but well, he did fight at heavyweight, but he was, he had his career before heavyweight. James Toney, Tommy Hearns. I know there's other guys, Purnell and Floyd, and there's, I can go on and on naming fighters, but we can take James Toney out since he did fight at heavyweight, and I'll go with Tommy Hearns. And Marvin Hagler, too, man. He was, like I said before in the first hangout, man, that Sports Illustrated of him on the front cover of that Tommy Hearns fight when he had that blood streaming down his face, that shit scared me as a kid. I really thought that if somebody got in there with Tommy Hearns, he was going to kill him. Just as a kid, man, just that image was just like, damn, this dude looks frightening, man. Some people, as he says, laugh out loud. What cruiserweight is amazing today? I like the cruiserweights too. I love that tournament they got going on. In the Kill Zone says, love the live streams. Appreciate that, man. One thing about these live streams, man, I can just, when y'all ask questions, I can just go off the top, man. I don't, sometimes I'll write some talking points so I won't forget something, and I'll still probably forget something. But I can just go off the top, man. Try not to make this too long. And I said I'm gonna do it for like 15 minutes, and now it's already a fucking 30 minutes. We ain't answering that. We is not answering that. All right. Read some more questions here, man. How would you see Miller versus Parker fight playing out? I think Miller would try to go in there and walk Parker down to show him that he can't hurt him, and try to cut the ring off and go to the body and try to throw as many shots as he can to frustrate Parker, try to push him back, try to get into a slugfest, try to make him burn energy. And I see Parker using his jab, taking steps back, circling a little bit, trying to sit and trade when he can, but doing it enough to make Miller to respect him. I can see Parker winning a decision. That would be my prediction on the fight. I know if Jarrell heard this, he'll probably think I'm tripping, which is cool. You know, I'm cool with Jarrell, man, but just giving my honest opinion, I can see Parker winning that fight. But if Parker were to stand and trade with Jarrell to show him, you know, try to fight with, you know, that type of machismo, he could possibly lose the fight. But then again, it's a close fight because I think Jarrell will fight in a similar fashion to Ruiz Jr. And I thought that was a very close fight. Parker's just one of them cats, man, where it's like, with him, it's like damn near every fight with him is like 50-50 to me. All his tough fights. I thought the Fury fight was 50-50. I thought the Takum fight was 50-50. Now, this is going into the fights, my predictions. You know what I mean? I thought that was 50-50. I thought the Ruiz Jr. fight was 50-50. With him, it's just never, okay, I think Parker would steamroll that guy. I think he'll knock that guy out. And that's why I think the perception of him, people kind of overlook him a little bit because of that. Because when he goes into fights, I'm not saying all fans, but a lot of us are just like, that's 50-50. Whereas when it's AJ and Wilder and those guys, it's like, oh, I got Wilder by knockout or AJ by knockout. You know what I mean? When it comes to Parker, it's like, I don't know. I'll favor Parker slightly. It's like that type of mindset with Parker, man. In my opinion, at least. Charlie Brown says, hey, or Bellew, who you got? Like I said, bro, I got a $20 bet with D-Style Boxing that Bellew's going to win. I don't trust David Haye's injury. If this was 2010, 11, I'm picking David Haye all day, every day. But this new injury, I'm not sure he's over it. I know there's some rumor, and I'm not even going by the rumors. This is before the rumors from the last few days. This was before that. This is why I'm picking Bellew. And I think Bellew is very serious about David Haye. And I think David Haye kind of overlooks Bellew. I really think he believes if I land one shot, it's over. Now, obviously in boxing that can't happen. But I'm saying with David Haye, the way he talks and look at, like, he really thinks this dude got lucky against him. And I don't really see that. Boxing, people don't like to count in physicality sometimes. You getting injured, breaking your hand, rupturing your Achilles, anything that can happen. Sometimes when your bodies are banging against each other and it's a rough fight and it's physical, it's a battle of attrition sometimes. Can David Haye body hold up to those type of battles? Even if it's an injury where he sustained where it wasn't them being physical, just the fact of being in the ring, can his body hold up? I trust Tony Bellew's body more than I do David Haye. Some people may trust David Haye's chin more than Bellew's. I can see that. But Bellew has no fear whatsoever of David Haye. And he has that victory, that first victory, whether it's a ruptured Achilles, whatever it was. His hand was raised at the end. You know what I mean? And David Haye was in there missing. He was missing some shots. He was getting off balance, throwing wild-ass hooks and wild-ass uppercuts, getting countered with right hands himself. It wasn't just, in my opinion, it wasn't just the Achilles. He was getting some leather put on him too. It didn't help that his fucking Achilles went, but just not the same David Haye in my opinion. And I think David Haye has slowed down just enough. He's slowed down just enough where Tony Bellew can catch up to him now. This was 2011, something like that. I'm definitely going with David Haye by knockout. But this version, damn, they're going into 2018 of David Haye. Not so much. He slowed down just enough, in my opinion. But we'll see what's going to happen. We'll definitely see what's going to happen, man. Our John Ganathi says, just today I was watching the sparring footage of Haye and Wilder. Guy moves so well in the ring. Even his defense is unreal. When he's on point. Yeah, and that sparring footage was years ago. Years ago. But he did cut that footage up. In all honesty, I know there were some other guys in the gym with him. Was Yusinov in there? Was it Wok or somebody? I seen it was some other guys in there that day too. And it was just a promo for Haye to make him look good. Because I'm sure them guys was landing some good shots on him too. But yeah, when David Haye is rolling and moving and landing sharp counters and good hooks and uppercuts, he was deadly. That's why, man, going into the Klitschko fight, you guys remember, now in hindsight, we can say, oh, he blamed his toe and laugh at him and that type of stuff. But you guys remember, man, who's really following it, a lot of people thought Haye can possibly beat Klitschko. That's why the fight was so big. Remember? Because he was fast and quick and powerful and all that type of shit. So, yeah, when David Haye is on point, man, people will favor him over a lot of people. But he's an older David Haye. He hasn't really been in a real mix-up since the, 5 years ago? The Chisora fight? Is that his last real mix-up? Well, the Tony Bellew fight. But before the Bellew fight, before this year, it was Chisora. You know, and boxing isn't one of them sports, where you just think you're just going to conveniently come in and out as you please and fight top guys, man, or guys that are formidable. You know what I mean? You're going to take some L's, man. Most of the time. John Dennis says, what's your take on Dwyer's opinion of Parker being the most sudden and athletic of the current champs? Shout out to Dwyer, man. I really like the fact that he appreciates the old school. Been following Dwyer for about damn near 10 years now on YouTube. I wouldn't agree with Dwyer on that. I don't think. Now, Parker gets underestimated, man. Maybe he can use that to fuel him. But I don't see how he's more athletic. I don't see that. How he's more athletic than like a Wilder. I don't see him being more athletic than Deontay Wilder. Even if we're just talking about athleticism, shit, Gerald Washington is pretty athletic. You know what I mean? But it's not just all about being athletic. You got to combine it with everything else: heart, courage, physicality, your willingness to win. All those types of things factor in. We know that. But I would disagree with Dwyer. But I do think Joseph Parker is athletic. He isn't a stiff. You know what I mean? Rise Cloud 222, what it do, man? Parker, Jonathan Roos says, Parker would get floored in 4 by Joshua. AJ is too strong. He punches hard. AJ, and I said this yesterday, I believe at least, and Virgil Hunter pointed this out too, and I thought I was probably one of the only guys that was thinking about it. So it's kind of cool that Virgil Hunter actually said something about it. But when I look at AJ, although he's ripped with muscles, some people think when they look at that, they think, oh, he's a big bully. He's gonna go in there and bully you. He really doesn't fight in a bullying type of style. He wants to be at a good, nice range where he can get off his combinations. He throws good combinations for a big guy. But he isn't in there, George Foreman against Joe Frazier type of physicality where he's pushing you and hitting you with hooks and uppercuts and pushing you back and being physical. Nah, it's not really like that. It's worked for him so far. Low Play says, these heavyweights need to chill with this 40-50% from Joshua. They acting like he master P and they low Romeo. Shout out to the Tank, man. Shout out to the damn Tank. I used to buy all them damn No Limit CDs back in the mid-90s, man. I'm About It was a underrated compilation in my opinion. The compilation CD to that movie. But anyways, right now, low place, man. What I think is guys are just like I was saying earlier, man. They're going high because Eddie Hearn's going to come low. So they're going to go high with their 40 to 50%. Hearn's going to come with his 20% or maybe even less than that, whatever it is. And then they try to meet somewhere in the middle. That's what I really think is going on. You know what I mean? So we'll see, though. We'll see how firm these guys stand next to their offers. Charlie Brown says, Master P, the pioneer of trap music. Definitely a pioneer of hip hop of the South, man, to show you how to get your tapes off the ground independently out the trunk. Definitely one of the pioneers of that. You talk about somebody going to now we talking about business. Master P had good business. He told them majors, nah, motherfucker, we're gonna get 80-90% and you'll get the small shit for distribution. P definitely underrated, man. Doesn't get enough to me, P doesn't get enough credit from the hip hop community. You know what I mean? I really don't think he gets enough credit, man, from the hip hop community. Where's Master P these days? Red Fox asks. I'm not sure, man. I know I've seen a few things on YouTube with him doing some new music. I think the company's called The New No Limit now. One of their things though, man, is I thought back in the day, P was just putting everybody on. You talking about somebody that was looking out for the hood. Sometimes that could be a gift and a curse. Sometimes it can. Because it was literally like little cousins coming out with damn CDs. The barber that cut hair down the street coming out with a CD. The group at the church that can sing, they coming out with a CD. And some of that stuff was dope, man. You know, because P was one of the first down south artists I heard talk about some of the stuff he was talking about. Gold grills and getting crunk, getting buck and all that type of stuff. I never really heard nobody now heard the Ghetto Boys, but they really wasn't on that type of talk that P was on, you know. But it's gonna turn into a damn hip hop live stream. Back to boxing, yo. Back to boxing. Rainy Young Boss says, Mr. Boxing, if it was up to you, what would you like to see first? AJ versus Parker, AJ versus Wilder, or Wilder versus Parker? I would love to see Wilder versus AJ. That's what I like to see first, tell you the truth. Somebody says About It was a good movie as well. Yes, it was. I remember that shit clear as day. Damn good movie. Again, like I was saying, P's a pioneer, man. Although, you know, Def Jam kind of had their own little movie back in the day. What was that, man? We had the Fat Boys and all them in it. I forgot the damn name of the movie, yo. But it's funny because in that movie, man, shit had LL Cool J. I forgot the name of the movie. Not the show. It wasn't that one. It was back in the 80s. Actually, funny story because in that movie, the theme song that 78 Sports used for his intro to his videos, Let's Get Funky. That's a Fat Boy song, and in that movie they sing that song. Crush Groove, there you go. Breaking was another good movie too back in the day. Yes, it was Crush Groove. Yeah, Let's Get Funky. Yeah, they performed that song in the movie. Curtis Blow was definitely a underrated producer too, man. He had some dope ass beats for the Fat Boys. Oh, I got the hookup. Somebody says Master P movie selling mobile phones was funny too. Yeah, I got the hookup. That shit was funny. Pugilist specialist says, does Ike Ibeabuchi clear up the current heavyweight division? You know, you guys remember, man, Ibeabuchi was going to come back. Y'all remember that? He put up a photo on social media. Looked to be in pretty decent shape for a man in his 40s. And then I believe he violated his parole and then went back to jail. But man, Ike was tough, yo. Man, that dude was tough. If he can take David Tua punches, shit, man. I had to put my money on. He probably can take what these boys offering too, man. That dude had a chin, and he can give and take. He can give and take too. See, I thought I wanted to see Ike versus Holyfield. If you guys go on YouTube and watch Ibeabuchi versus Pinkram, this guy named Pinkram that he fought, dude kind of fought like a watered down version of Holyfield a little bit. He made Ike kind of dig for that victory. I want to see Ike versus Holyfield back in the day. Speaking of Holyfield and Tua and all that, if you guys go on YouTube, there is footage of Tua versus Holyfield sparring. Holyfield had Tua come in before the Tyson fight. It was the first, I believe it was the first Tyson fight. He had Tua come in and got some good sparring. That footage is on YouTube. Another great sparring footage on YouTube, man. And this dude doesn't get enough respect for his defense. We talk, and even I forget to bring him up, but he's much known for being a come forward, type of dude. But there's footage of Roberto Duran and Nigel Benn on YouTube. Oh my goodness, man. Go look at Duran's defense. He did this one move against Ben where he's throwing punches. I swear to you, the dude dropped down. He kind of lowered himself and did a damn 360 against the ropes. Spent up out of it, man. It was crazy. Duran very underrated with his defense. Hey, y'all, I'm about to jump up off here, man. Just want to come on. The first half of this video was about Martin Bakole improving to 10-0 out of the Congo. Prospect out there. Him and his team's talking about trying to fight Dillian White and all that. He's the brother of Alunga Makabo, the guy who fought Tony Bellew. He's a good up-and-coming prospect. He's 24 years old. Also, Efe Ajagba improved to 3-0 with the 3 knockouts. He fought on the Wilder Stavern undercard. Kayotaro Fujimoto, who's not a prospect, but he is rated number 7 by the WBO. He was being talked about, rumored to fight Parker. He also picked up a victory. I talked about that fight. He beat Raymond. And Rahman Jr. improved to 3-0 too, man. So just wanted to get that out there, man. I'll be doing more videos and talking about these heavyweights. Let me see if I answered one more question. Timothy Harris says Lewis would have gotten KO'd by Ike. I'm not sure about that, man. I'm not sure about that. I think Lewis keep that jab on him, man. And I think Ike, as tough as he is, you would think he would somewhere down the line after having jab stuffed in his face. Although Ike can jab with you too, but I think Lennox had the superior jab. And I think Lennox are going to see Lennox, in my opinion, had troubles when he kind of went in kind of unfocused. And I know you can say, well, he got knocked out, and then you can say because he wasn't focused, but the fights when he was focused. You could just tell by his body language the fights where he was focused, like the Galata fight, the Tyson fight, the second Rockman fight. He just looked different. The way he was moving, the way his body looked, he just looked different. You give me that Lennox, he damn near beats everybody in the history. You know what I mean? I'm just being honest with you, man. He'll damn sure have a chance. But with Ike, I think he'll keep a jab on Ike. And I think he maybe even discourage Ike, man. And then once he starts discouraging him, start landing that big right hand. And I think he would possibly keep Ike at bay. You know what I'm saying? And get a decision victory. I don't think he would have knocked Ibeabuchi out. But I definitely think he would have discouraged him with that jab and landed some good right hands. And when they got on the inside, Lennox was good at wrapping you up a little bit. We know Emmanuel Stewart was known for telling his big guys, hey, you ain't got to fight on the inside. Wrap that little dude up. Don't give him the advantage. Wrap his ass up. And I know some fans, he's holding. Sometimes it could be strategic holding. If you're just in there just holding for dear life, a la, what's what's the dude name that fought Lennox, man, that just held him all night? Henry Akinlande. If you're on that type of shit, then it's like, okay, you just holding on for dear life. But, you know, keeping the jab on him, you know, hook off the jab, right hand. The guy gets close, you know, he wants to work on the inside. You hold him, let the ref break you. There's nothing wrong with that. Shit, he stymied David Tua and Mike Tyson. You know, but D-Style, let me get this last one. He says, hey, Mr. Boxing Day, when you want to collab, I want to do it. About boxing fans want to move like roaches. Shit, man, whenever you ready, bro. Like a lot of my live streams, bro, they're so unpredictable. Like right now I was just watching Douglas versus Tucker, and I was like, man, let me just do a live stream. So they're so unpredictable. None of these are, you know, scheduled. You know what I mean? But just hit me up, man. I know you said Thursdays work for you. I'm Central Time, so if you can do it anywhere between anywhere from about 5 to 8 o'clock Central Time, I'm down for it. And on the weekends, especially after fight nights, most of the time I'm down for that too. Make sure y'all hitting that like button, man. Give me a Mike Tyson overhand right to that like button. Smash the hell out of it. See, I'm trying to get off, man. Y'all keep asking me questions. I want to answer these, y'all. Rise Clock 222 says, do you think Tyson would be like Aaron Pryor versus these big heavyweights? It's a good question. I think he'll handle most of these dudes the same way he was handling guys that were bigger than him back during his run. Get up in their chest and see what they got. And Tyson had a good jab too. He doesn't get enough credit for his jab. He could jab with you. Because, you know, jabs to me is not only just about the reach and the snap you have on the jab, but it's about the timing. Who can time who better with their jab? You can have a shorter reach, but if you got the timing down in that fight, in my opinion, you probably have the advantage. Shit, look at Pulev and Klitschko. Now, I know they both tall guys with long reaches, but to me, Pulev, it wasn't so much that I think Pulev has a greater jab all time than Vladimir. He just got the timing down. Another fight I like to reference is Carl Williams and Larry Holmes. I thought Williams was shit. If not jabbing with Holmes, probably out jabbed him. I don't know the CompuBox numbers, but the timing was key. You know, so if Mike Tyson can get his good timing down with his jab and bob and weave and get on the inside with these guys that like to hold, and man, I see Tyson doing damage in this era. I know a lot of people say he's too small, but shit, some people thought he was, as far as his height and reach, they thought he was too small back then. They say Tyson resume weak, but Holmes fought some of this. You know what, man? I'm so tired of doing resume debates and who this or who. Because sometimes, man, if another person has it set in their mind, no matter what you say to them, they have it fucking set in stone that he fought bums. You're going to just be there all day going in circles. If they think Douglas was a bum, he lost to a complete bum, I don't know how he lost. If they don't know about the jab, how formidable Douglas was in his era, I'm not calling him an all-time great. But just if they don't break things down like that, or even just acknowledge that he had good boxing skills, he was 6'4", 240, I mean, you're going to be here all day going back and forth with people, man. So that's why it's like, okay, if you think he's a bum, great. You know what I mean? I'm not here to change your mind, man. Obviously, I know I can't. You know what I mean? Because you have it set in stone that he fought bums. So that's why I never go back and forth. People say, oh, you need to debate more. I mean, debate what? Try to get you to understand my point of view. Nah, man, you have it set in stone that you believe this guy's a bum or that guy's a bum. So what's the point? I like to have discussions, man. That's what I'm more about, just having discussions. Yeah, he did. He fought for his mom that night, man. He went in there not scared of Mike, none whatsoever. All that intimidation, and then Mike wasn't focused himself out there having menage twice. Mike was having menages and drinking and shit, eating steaks, and Mike was out there wilding, man. Because Mike was looking at the fights that Douglas had lost. You know, Douglas was the guy that fought on his undercard. The fight I was watching tonight, the Douglas and Tucker fight for the vacant IBF title that was vacated by Michael Spinks, was on Tyson's undercard to Pinky Thomas. So Tyson looking at him like, man, this is food. You know what I mean? Yeah, you got a little jab on you, but man, I'm about to get inside that and eat you up. And Douglas had that uppercut waiting for him, that straight right hand waiting for him, that movement waiting for him, and that confidence and that will waiting for him. And Mike was not expecting that. And to tell you the truth, Mike at his best, I don't want to get into that, man, because I don't want to take away from Douglas' victory, man. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to let my Tyson fanboy days creep back up on me, man. Douglas did what he had to do, whether Tyson was ready or not. Pugilist Specialist says, Mr. Boxing, Hatman, Dwyer, Boxing Gossip, best YouTubers. Feel free to recommend me others. There's a lot of them, and I hate getting into name. And all those guys you name, I'm sub to all those guys. I hate naming guys, because as soon as I do and I turn off the video or stop recording, it's like, damn, I forgot about 7 channels. You know what I mean? So I listen to a lot of guys, man. I've been on here for damn near 8 years, yo. So I listen to a lot of channels. Guys from the States, guys from overseas. I like to hear opposing opinions, man. You know, so I've been on here a while, man. There's a lot of very good channels out there. Maybe I'll do a video one day when I can really name all the channels I listen to. Then I'll do a video. But it's going to be so many people. You know what I mean? And it depends what I'm looking for that day. If I just want to really hear about some heavyweight stuff, there's some channels I go. You know, some guys, I just like hearing their opinions about certain stuff. Some you know, a lot of stuff is entertainment, man. You know, and that's what I think we don't get enough credit for here as YouTubers, man, is we're providing entertainment for the fans. We're fans too, but we're providing entertainment. You know what I mean? If you're here in the States, man, ESPN and all that and all these networks, they're not really running shows like that. Everyday boxing news and boxing opinions and all that. They're not doing that. I don't think we get enough credit. And these people watch our videos, yo. I've had fighters. That's how I got cool with Jarrell Miller. He actually came to one of the videos I did about him. And we start going back and forth like that. Spencer Farron's another guy that comes to the videos and gives me props, which is cool. There's a lot of guys. I don't want to get the name dropping. Even, now let me tell you this story. Even HBO. All these people watch us, man. HBO sent me an email a few days before the Wack Miller fight. If you guys, Miller gave me that footage of him and Klitschko sparring. It's up on my page. Then people went and just stole the video and put it on their page, which was crazy. I didn't say nothing about it. It's like, damn, how y'all just... But anyways, Miller and Wack sparring footage, HBO contacted me about the footage, and they were asking, do I have the actual footage of it? Because if you look at the video on my page, somebody's actually holding the camera while the other person is filming the sparring footage. And they wanted to use it, but they were telling me that that footage right there wouldn't be good enough to air on TV. You know what I mean? So they're all watching us, man. But hey, y'all, man, it was good chopping up with y'all. I'll be back in a few days, man. Do more of these videos. I'm out.